Good afternoon, everybody. So today we are very honored to have Kim to join us on the live sessions to talk about postnatal care from head to toe. So Kim is the founder of Coco Dry. She's a very young entrepreneur and who started Coco Dry store 3 months before MCO happened. Okay, so Coco Dry is actually the first blow dry bar in Malaysia. So maybe Kim, you want to say a bit about what is blow dry bar?
Sure. Thanks for having me, Yan Fang. So basically, Coco Dry is a blow dry bar, and it means we are not doing any cuts or color. So it's just basically washing, blowing, styling, and natural treatments for scalp and your hair.
So I heard that you started 3 months before MCO, like how we started our Gardens outlet mall at 2 weeks before MCO. So maybe can you tell us what motivates you to open this Coco Dry?
Well, my main motivation actually came from my passion entrepreneurship and women empowerment. So I usually listen to podcasts about business models. And when I stumbled upon this, and I was just deeply fascinated, it captured my attention immediately because I have never seen anything like that. And as I dig further and I realized that, hey, there's actually a gap in the Malaysian market. So that's how I started it without knowing that MCO was going to happen. But it's been a great journey so far.
But I get to know that although during MCO, you're planning to open a second store just right before this MCO, right?
I know, it's like I never learned my lesson.
Okay, so it means that despite the MCO, you're still doing well.
I mean, to be honest, it's natural progression, and I'm the kind of person that I cannot stay in one place for too long. I cannot be stagnant. And like with the feedbacks and the response that we have received so far in the past year, so like we have taken calculated risks, and it made sense for us to extend to the second outlet.
Yeah, good to know. Good to know. So maybe today we want to talk a little bit about as a woman, what are the pros and cons of being an entrepreneur? What do you think?
The pros and cons. I would say the first one, I think it would be the same answer. People estimating us.
Okay.
Yep.
People underestimating us, is it?
Exactly. Like it can be a pro and it can be a con at the same time. But the thing is, I usually look up to, like mothers, women entrepreneurs who actually have a family as well as juggling a successful business. And I've always, wondered how they do it. Because right now I'm just juggling, like business, that's all. But especially you, as you were sharing about how you are juggling your family and your business, I have so much respect for that.
I think as a female entrepreneur, of course, the cons is like you say, people always underestimate us. And even if you look at the fundraising part of the business, I think women usually raise less fund compared to men. And I think investors, they have more confidence when man is leading the company. But I would think in these recent years, it has changed a little bit. I think women has the benefits of being a leader because I think we are born naturally very good in multitasking. So I think multitasking. Yeah, so I think multitasking we can do like 10,000 things in one time. So I think we are always good in that. And sometimes I think women also enjoy multitasking. I think like you said, you cannot stay at one place. So it means that you need more things to keep you excited, right? So I think the multitasking is always a good point for women. And I also think women naturally are quite a good leader because they are more empathy, they are more friendly, right? And they build better relationship compared to men. So they communicate better as well. I think like in my company, I always emphasize over communicating, like what is happening in the company, be as transparent as possible. So I think that actually gives a lot of pros to women.
Yep, okay, I totally agree with you. I think it's very, very important to actually, like taking good care, of your employees and understand how they are doing and their well-being, especially at this difficult time.
Mm, yes, yes. So, but the cons, I think, we also have some cons. Like we have a lot of hormonal fluctuation in our life. I think, sometimes, like, I don't know, like me, I will have my PMS period. Like during PMS, I will be a bit more emotional, and I think, pregnancy, giving birth, having children, menopause, all these sort of things, my hormonal fluctuation. I don't know how much that will affect us in our leadership. But I think we can be also very professional. We can be very emotional at home, but act very professional.
That's what I've always shared with my team, actually, because I know everyone goes through their own struggles in life, but when it comes to work, we have to put things behind and just work on things professionally and put our emotions behind. So let's say, but if you need any issues at all, you can always reach out to me personally. But because if you were to bring your own emotion to work, it might not just affect, like the people around you, and it will actually drain the whole company culture as well. So this has always been something that I communicate with my team, because personally I do have I do have bad days at home as well, but none of them know, because as you practice, I retrain myself to be just, you just gotta switch that button.
Sure. That's why women sometimes are better leader in that way, I think. And being professional is really, really important, especially in service industry, right?
Yeah.
If we bring so much, we need to give so much of positive vibes to our client. If you come in a very negative, if you come with a very negative vibes, it's really not good when you're in a service industry. Yeah.
Exactly, and customers would feel it.
And sometimes I also say that, sometimes certain customers will give us too much of a negative vibes. It will not do good to us, especially we are in the service industry, because when we get affected emotionally, it's also very hard for us to serve the next customer in a very positive way. Yeah. So be mercy to service provider.
Yes.
Okay. So today we want to talk a little bit about postnatal care. Okay. So how will this giving birth change our life, especially a woman? So let's talk a little bit on physically. So I think number one, after giving birth, a few months later, you start to realize you start losing hair. So when you're pregnant that time, one thing I love about being pregnant is you have very nice hair because of the hormone. You have very nice hair. You have very nice breasts because the breasts are growing, right? So but after you gave birth, you start losing your hair. So is there any solution to that?
Well, actually, this is one of the major problems that our customers face, because like we offer treatments as well. So to be honest, right, when it comes to hair loss in relation with postpartum, it really depends on individual, because the thing is, it's normal to lose your hair, because a lot of people are very, very panicky, but it
But
is
it
actually
lose a
okay.
lot, It lose a lot. Sometimes you will get panicky because I remember I have losing, like, you can see patches, like you lost patches and you're getting bald somewhere. So it's quite scary actually. So how do you
Yeah.
solve that?
Okay, so first of all, since we're talking about hair, right? So I just want to just calm women down that actually hair shedding after pregnancy takes around 4 months postpartum. And then the
Yeah.
good news is, actually after within 6 to 9 months to a year time, you're more likely to regain your normal growth. So it's like just in time for your baby's 1 year old bash
Okay.
celebration. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and
So,
to be honest, there are a lot of things that we can't really avoid, because it is in relation to hormonal changes, and
true.
also the diet and the health condition as well. So people always, go to us is like, okay, can I have like, a shampoo or like any products that will help with hair growth? But there is no such thing as a miracle product that you wash, you spray, your hair would just sprout immediately. No, because like our hair care actually has so much in relation with our lifestyle, our diet, the things that we put in our mouth as well. So everything actually works hand in hand.
Yeah, especially after giving birth, you gave all your nutrient to your kid, and if you're not, if you, especially for a woman who after giving birth they start dieting, I tell them no diet. This is the time you need to nourish yourself. During confinement time, no dieting, just nourish yourself because you have lost so much of nutrient because of giving birth, right? So yeah. So is there any special products that you would recommend to use during
Yeah,
this?
definitely. So we actually brought in a machine. It's actually called the low level laser therapy.
Okay.
Yeah. So the low level laser therapy is actually referred as like red light therapy or even like cold laser, and it is a laser treatment for hair loss. So you can't really use it when you're pregnant, but it is good for like postpartum hair growth.
So do you do it in cocoa dry or we can do it at home?
Okay, when it comes to this machine, right, because it's actually quite big, so at home we would recommend our hair loss shampoo as well as our hair loss tonic. So in terms of the whole machine, because it uses a wavelength of like 650 nm to stimulate the anagen, so it actually prolongs your anagen phase, which is the hair growth phase. So the result has been great so far. We have seen about 40 to 60% increase in hair density and also 85% success rate of hair loss stopping.
So these were only good for postpartum or actually for any hair loss?
Actually, this is great for like any hair loss. It just happens that because we're targeting, like our community is I would say 95% women, and a lot of women actually experience hair loss after giving birth.
Sure. So not only actually hair loss, a lot of women because of hormonal changes, they have lots of pigmentation, and maybe because of taking care of kids, they have very bad dark circle, skin start to age and things like that. And these are only the things that you can see, right? Like
Yes.
body gaining weight and etc. And nowadays, so many people post in their Instagram that after giving birth 1 month, 2 months, they look so slim. It is really setting unrealistic expectation to women and giving them unnecessary pressure. I would say we need to get real and let women know that after giving birth, your body has gone through so much tremendous change, and you should also be able to appreciate your body in a different way because it is so much more stronger and it gives birth to life and things like that, right?
It's such a magical moment.
Yes, but all these magical moments come with a lot of side effects. So there are things that you can't even see, like example, stretch mark. Sometimes to me, when I see my client having very bad stretch mark, I also feel very heartache, because the whole body, like so much of scarring, and it really takes time to heal. And also, there's another issue that most of giving birth women will face is vaginal laxity. So some people before pregnancy, they have very healthy, active sexual life, but after giving birth, sometimes they will have very low desire. They might be like they lost their orgasm, like they can't orgasm anymore, or sometimes they just not interested in sex anymore. So these are the some of the side effects, I would say, after giving birth. But of course, there's always a solution. So in Beauty and Co, we actually do sexual health. So we do two types of treatments. One is the Kegel exercise. I'm not sure if a lot of people who have heard Kegel exercise, that is to strengthen your pelvic floor muscle. Okay, so usually after giving birth, your doctor will ask you to do more Kegel exercise at home. But if you know what Kegel exercise is, doing 50 times, I'm not sure. Kim, do you know what is Kegel exercise?
Yes, I've heard of it.
So do you practice Kegel?
Not yet.
Okay, so
enjoying getting all the tips from you because I am definitely going to like need all of this when I give birth in the future.
Okay, so it's really important to have a strong pelvic floor muscle, or else when your pelvic floor muscle is weak, you will have urine incontinence. So sometimes women, when they sneeze, they cough, they will have urine leakage, and they will also have more night pee. And they also sometimes they can't do exercise. When they start doing exercise, they will also have leakage. So it's really important to strengthen back the pelvic floor muscle. So we have this Amsela chair where you sit on the chair for 28 minutes is equivalent to 12,000 times of Kegel. So people
Oh,
who
that is
know,
amazing.
so even doing for one session, so you can really feel the difference. Yeah, you can feel that your pelvic floor muscle is stronger. So you can feel that you can hold your pee better. So because imagine you do 12,000 times of contraction on your pelvic floor muscle. So that is one of the treatment that is really popular.
Is this targeted for like, women after giving birth or even, without giving birth can go for this treatment as well?
So this machine is for two reasons. One is for urine incontinence, usually happens after giving birth. The second protocol is actually for sexual health. So if you want to experience better orgasm, you want to be able to milk your husband's penis better. that that you would want to try, okay? So and
Just
this
find out, I'll be there.
so this chair is not only for women, it's actually for men also. So if you Google about pelvic floor muscle for men in terms of how it helps you in terms of your sexual performance, it can actually give you better erection, and it actually can prolong your performance, like to prevent premature ejaculation. So this is really, really good for both men and women. Yeah. So other than this machine, we have also another machine specially for postnatal, which is the vagina tightening. So it's like vaginal rejuvenation. It's non-invasive. Like today, if you do the procedures, at night you can resume your sexual activities. So it's non-invasive at all, but the results is amazing. Like when you look at the before after photos that people, after giving birth, a lot of times it causes a lot of vaginal muscle tear, and the labia area also tear out. So actually after giving birth, when you do this treatment, you can actually heal it back, which is amazing results. Yeah. I can't hear you. I
Oh,
can't
how
hear.
many sessions do we need to see apparent result?
For the vaginal tightening, it's only 3 sessions. 3 sessions is good enough to see a, a very tremendous changes. Yeah, and usually maybe 4 sessions is good enough. You don't really need to repeat it again, unless you have your second birth lah. Then maybe you need to repeat the procedures again, or else after doing 3-4 sessions should be good enough. Yeah. So yeah, so after giving birth, these are the things that you need to expect. You need to be prepared for. So I think a lot of times after giving birth, a lot of times women did not talk about it, and a lot of women did not expect. So like me, when I was like all pregnant, nobody tell me about all these challenges that we will face, right? And especially mentally. I think mentally, postpartum depression is real. Like after you give birth, that 1, 2, 3 months, you are super, super sensitive. So if you talk to any woman who after giving birth, that 2, 3 months, they are very emotionally unstable. That's why the spouse support is really, really important.
Did you
Like,
seek any support? Because you were going through so much and you were so new at this.
uh, I would say luckily I I get a very good support system. Like, I make sure my confinement lady is really good. I make sure I tell my husband that, during this confinement time, you need to be like 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 how to say, like give in to everything I say.
More tender love and care.
Yes, like whatever I say, I might be unreasonable. I don't know what will happen, but I might be very unreasonable. Just give in, for
Just
that
say yes
particular.
to everything. Happy wife, happy
Uh,
life.
I think that is really important. So you need to set up your support system well. And if you have a great support system, even when you are down, still not too bad. And you need to know yourself well. Yeah, like what are the things that is important to you? Like for me, like hygiene is really important. So I would need to make sure like my confinement lady is priority is hygiene so that I don't get frustrated when she is not hygiene, right? Or some people they prefer the confinement lady to be a good cook or very good with baby. I think so you need
Depending
to
on your
know.
priority.
Yes, you need to know your priority. And some people they just can't stay at home. I have clients who cannot stay at home, so the husband need to fetch her, just go out, drive around and come back. So you need to know yourself, and you need to prepare the people around you to support you well. I think asking for help is really important. You need to learn to ask for help, especially if you're not sleeping well. You get somebody to take care of the baby and things like that. I think it's really important. Yeah, mental health.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think mental health is very important, especially I think when it comes to women, we always want to believe that we are superwoman, we can go through anything. And then after that, when it becomes just like too draining, it just affects your mental health and it is not healthy, not just for yourself and also for your babies, like
Yeah.
health as well. Yeah, and your body.
So I wonder why we women always think that we need to be a superwoman. Why?
That's a good question. I think it really depends on individual experience.
Okay.
Yeah, I think for me, right, because I always want to show people, like how far I can do, how much I can take on, to be
Okay.
strong, to be independent. But at the same time, especially when you're already a mom and you're juggling a business, have like what you mentioned just now, having a support group is actually very important.
Yeah, true, true. So I think sometimes we women just want to portray that we are superwoman because we have so many roles to play. And in this century, women are also a working woman. They also bring
Yes.
bread to home. So and at the same time, you are still a mom. It's like whenever your kids has problem, it's always the mom's problem, right? It's lesser to the dad, it's more to the mom. Okay. So and when your kids is sick, it's always you. I mean, usually the mom who will take off,
Mhm.
stay at home to take care of the kids. So I think there's so many roles for us to play. Not only that, on top of that, we need to look good. You know, so
That's
I think
amazing. How comes into the picture?
so I would think of course being in this industry, sometimes people will think that I'm sure you are in the beauty industry as well. People will think that we are in a very vain industry, just vanity. But to me, it's all about self-love. You know, when the customers, I'm sure my mom used to be a hairdresser, so when people come in, they wash their hair, they blow their hair, they feel so much better leaving your salon, right? I'm sure. I think that kind of self-love is really, really important.
Yeah, it's really on, I think, emotional connection because when you look good, you feel good and you shouldn't apologize for that. Yeah.
Yes, right.
Do
So
whatever that makes you happy.
yeah, so a lot of times I always remind my client that self-love is not selfish. A lot of
Mm.
time they will think it's selfish. It is not selfish. It is actually giving the best of you to the world. So I always say, if today after work I'm very, very tired, I rather go for a good 1 hour massage than to go and spend time with my kids. That's
Mm.
because if I'm so tired, I'll be a very agitated mom or very angry mom, or
Um,
yes, grumpy person. So I think if I go for a massage after an hour or two, it refresh me. So I can become a better person, and I can trust myself to be a better mom. But if you're so tired, if you're
Yeah.
so tired, then you can't give the best version of yourself.
To people. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Like women, we're a human being after all. We have emotions, we have ups and downs. We are not a robot. So it's very important for us to unwind and recharge
True.
and give the
Okay.
best version of ourselves to the world.
So I think another thing after giving birth, I think is guilt. A lot of mom when they start going back to work, they will start have this guilt in them. Like, oh, I'm not spending enough time with my kids and things like that. So I think it's really important not to guilt yourself. I'm sure your husband don't do that. It's always the woman. It's always the woman. I don't think the men will actually feel guilty leaving home and going to work, but a woman always have this feeling. So I think it's really important to stay present. Like when you are at work, you be present, and when you are at home, you be present. So sometimes when my kids comes to me and I ask them to wait because I'm texting, I will always remind myself, okay, when I'm with them, I need to just put down my phone. The text
Yeah.
can wait, and just be present there and be there for them. Yeah. So I think really important for that. Yeah. So when are you planning to have your kids?
Well, to be honest, I am still going with the flow.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I was thinking probably in, like 2 to 3 years time. As of right now, I'm just focusing on my career. But, let's say if I have the blessing to have a baby, then, like I would take it as well. Yeah.
But I think it's always a blessing. It's always a blessing. The journey of pregnancy to being a mom
Mm-hmm.
is very, very interesting. It's also like how you manage your business. The only thing is you can't abandon your kids if your kids is not doing well. In business, when your business is not doing well, you can still close it down and things like that. But in
You can't
child,
try your kid. You can't just close down your kid. It doesn't work this way.
or give it to someone else. No, right? You can't.
Up for adoption, guys. Like business up for sale.
Yeah. But I think do not also give too much pressure to ourselves. So I'm like you also. I love to listen to podcasts and things like that, reading books. So when it comes to parenting, I always remind ourselves that you just need to make sure 2/3 of the time you are doing the right thing.
Yeah,
You
2/3.
Yes, you still can have room for mistake. 1/3 of the time you can still have room for mistake. But don't do it all the time. You will traumatize your kids. So if you keep on reminding yourself 2/3 of the time, then I think it should be good enough.
Yeah, I think you'll feel better and not guilt trip yourself. And it's okay to make mistakes because it's a learning journey after all. Like we don't have like a clear handbook of like 101 of raising a kid. It doesn't work like that because we're dealing with like an entirely, like human beings with logic, with emotion, with their own set of thinking.
But kids, they don't really have logics. So sometimes,
Not
oh my,
yet.
so they don't have logic. Sometimes I also get very frustrated, but I think that is how it tests your patience. Like then you will also become a better person. I think after you have kids, I think after having kids, people are less selfish.
Mhm.
They are able to love better. They are able to love people unconditionally.
Definitely, and become a more loving person in general.
And you need to become a better role model. Like
Mm-hmm.
when I eat my ice cream, I need to hide myself. I cannot I cannot show my kids that I'm eating sugar all the time.
Especially
So
when you tell them that no sugar, no ice cream, no candy, and here you are like, oh my god.
Yeah, so I think if anybody who's a mom, they can relate to this. That like when we are taking our cakes and desserts and things like that, we need to hide ourselves from the kids seeing us. And I think I also pick up a lot of good habits after giving birth. Like
Such
I need
as,
like I need to exercise more because I need to keep my kids active. So when I need to bring my kids to cycling, I need to bring my kids to running and things like that. And usually I don't enjoy doing all these outdoor activities, but no choice. I need to set a good example.
and you have to
And
do it for
also,
the children.
sleeping early. When you're single, yeah, I mean, when you're single or when you don't have kids, you can sleep whenever you want, and you can sleep until whatever time you want. But when you have kids, it's different. You better sleep when they are sleeping. If not, you will not have enough sleep.
That's what my mom told me. My parents used to have like all the party nights and stuff like that, and because of me, their life changed.
So how many
Waking up
siblings you have?
early, fetching me to school. I have another brother. He is about 12 years apart from me. So I'm 28 this
Wow,
year. My brother is 16.
wow, wow.
Yeah,
12.
we're both a surprise. Surprise baby.
Okay, but me and my first daughter and son also 8 years apart. Yeah. But
Oh.
I would think if you want to have more kids, it's better to do it earlier. So my
Yes,
kids, after
everyone says.
having first daughter, is like because of career, I was like waiting, waiting, waiting for the right time, and as we wait, it becomes like too long, way too long. I think. Yeah.
Do you mind sharing like at what age did you give birth?
30.
Oh, I mean that's fine.
I started my business when I'm 25. So
Mm-hmm.
after 5 years, then 30 years old, I started. I had my first daughter. Yeah,
And then 8 years
I think it's a good
later.
age. I think it's a good age because
Yeah.
when I was 30, when after giving birth, I recover very fast. Like
Mm.
I had cesarean birth. Then the next day, I was like
Normal.
almost recover. Like when people look at me, it doesn't look like a woman who just gave birth. Like it's recover because I think at the time younger age. But when I was 38 and give birth to my son, it's totally different story.
It was
I
a very
think
different experience.
huge difference because I think because of the age, because my second child I was 38. So when I was 38, it's like it takes a long time to recover. And within that 3 months, even when I sneeze, I can feel back pain. So like
Oh,
my muscle is so weak, and yeah, so it really takes a long time. So I would encourage women who wants to have kids, it's better to do it
do
earlier
it earlier.
because I
Wow.
think in business things always ups and down, right? I'm sure you know this after running Coco Dry, right? Things always and there's never a time where it's just everything is okay. So I think you should plan your family and your career around it, and you will be surprised that your career will still do well. But when you
Taking notes on that.
you drag it too late in life,
Mm.
I think it's still okay mentally. I mean, maybe you are more mature to handle kids,
Mm-hmm.
but
And you have the
physically,
experience as well.
I think it's tough because
Wow.
second kids, I think I enjoy parenting more. I enjoy my kids more. I am less anxious. I have more experience. I know how to handle the kids better. Know what to expect better. I think mentally it's more prepared, but physically you just can't cope with it because too old.
But in terms of, like your recovery based on the treatments that, like you shared just now, so did it also accelerate your body recovery?
Definitely, I don't think I can lose my after the second baby. I don't think I can lose weight after giving birth, because after giving birth, I don't know why, when I come out from the delivery room, people still ask me, "Have you gave birth?" Like, I cannot believe. I think, I don't know why. The first baby, it wasn't like that. Your body shrink. I think your womb shrink better. But the second baby, the womb is still so big. So it's like it still does not shrink. But I think we don't expect them to shrink in a day or two. But I don't know why the first baby, it wasn't this big. But the second baby is like, it's like the baby is still inside.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and after my confinement, I did a lot of a fat reduction treatment. I think without the fat reduction treatment, I am definitely not able to lose all that baby fat.
What about home care?
Home care. Like what type of home care?
Yes, like like intimate and like body home care after postnatal care.
I think the number one that a lot of people neglect when it comes to home care is actually intimate care. Intimate care. So
Can you
after
tell me
giving
about that?
So after giving birth, especially if you are giving vaginal birth, you will have so much of wound, right? So we actually has one range of intimate care, which is the wash, the balm, which can speed up the wound healing, and we have a deodorant, which can reduce the bacteria. Because after giving birth, you will have a lot of menses, and with your wound, sometimes you will get infection. So it's really important to control the bacteria. And also, the last one is lubricant. Because after giving birth, especially if you are breastfeeding, you will experience very dry vagina, like vaginal dryness. So, sex will not be pleasurable without lubricant. So it's really important to have a good quality lubricant. But in the market, it's really, really hard to find a good lubricant. So, like right now, the lubricants that we sell, I would say if you tried it, you wouldn't want to try any other lubricants, because it gives you like 10 times more more hydration, and also it's non and this product is from France. That's why the quality of the product is really, really good, and it's also oral sex safe.
Wow. And all these products are made specifically for postnatal care. Is that right?
It's actually an intimate care, but there's a few products that is very, very good for postnatal. Yeah, like for the wound healing, like for antibacterial, that is really good. And of course, lubricants usually people who already menopause are really good, because they will always have vaginal dryness. But actually, postnatal also you will experience vaginal dryness, especially if you're breastfeeding.
Well, that's a very good sharing, especially for people like me who have zero experience. And I'm so glad that I'm learning all of this to get myself prepared when it's time for me to give birth.
I think it's really important, because all this sharing, if you don't know, you really don't know what to expect. And especially some women, if they have this vaginal birth, and the first time when they have sex after birth, if they experience tremendous pain, then it will also traumatize you. Yeah. So it will
It's not really easy being a woman, like.
and imagine it's also about acceptance. Like, how can you accept that your body has changed so much, that your breast is different, your tummy is different? That kind of acceptance is really, really important. So I think when women talk about it, and you can know, can have better expectation, then you can have less shock. Because if you don't know, then when you are at that moment, and at that moment you're so emotional, that's why a lot of women get a postpartum depression.
I see. Is that why, like you have been giving talks, around,
So
like this angle?
So I actually do a lot of sexual health talk for this confinement center for,
Yeah.
for women who after give birth, they need to understand better about sexual health after birth, and what are the things they need to what are the things they can expect, and what are the things they can have solution and things like that. So I think sharing that is really important. And I think sexual health is not uh, taught enough. And it's actually a very big part of our life. But a lot of people, when it's like a taboo, they don't
Yeah,
talk about
especially
it.
in the Malaysian Asian culture, it's still a
Yes,
taboo under the Western countries. Everyone is so vocal about it because it's a part of our life. We shouldn't be ashamed
yes,
of that.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really, really important to talk positively about it so that people know what to expect. And you can see that a lot of times when couples has problems in their sexual uh, part of their life, they don't know who to talk to, and
Mm-hmm.
they don't even know there's a solution. Like example, after you give birth, 3 kids, all vaginal birth, I'm sure you will experience this vaginal laxity, and maybe you become like not interested with sex anymore, but your husband are still sexually active. He still needs it, and when you don't want it, then what is the solution, right? So it's
How do you
really important.
communicate that?
Yes, how you communicate that. How are you going to improve? I'm sure a lot of women, they would want to improve their sexual relationship with their husband. Yeah. So after some time, if they don't solve the problem, sex becomes like a duty because they don't get orgasm, so there's no more pleasure for them. So it becomes a duty. The husband do it, just finish the job. That's it. So
Oh, it's so
uh,
flat.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So it's really important to tell people their solution, because, like example, if you ask your husband, hey, do you think my vagina is loose after giving birth? And I'm sure your husband will not dare to tell you yes, it's loose, right? I'm sure he will say, oh, it's okay. But if he knows there is a solution, then he might look as well say, yeah, I think after giving birth it's different. Maybe we can look for this solution. So I think if there's a solution, people are more open to talk about it. But if there's no solution, then no point saying, oh, it's loose, and you hurt the woman and there's no solution. Yeah.
Is this your
So
passion, a personal passion to like drive you towards, like sharing and, like educating the women community in the postnatal confinement center?
to me, my life purpose is always about improving people's life. So I always share things that I feel it can improve people's life, whether from a yoga sessions, a talk that I listen to, a book that I read, or the treatments that I do. I always think that small things like this can improve people's life. So it's about 3 years ago that I started to study about sexual health, because we have this category of service in our clinic that improves people's sexual health. So when I start to study about it, then I realized that there is a lot of challenges in this area, and a lot of times I thought people are well educated in this area, but actually no. So you will be so surprised that a lot of couples are in a sexless marriage. So when we talk sexless, means they have less than 10 times sex in a year. So
Oh
these
my
are categorized. Yeah.
god.
So these are categorized as sexless marriage.
Wow. Okay.
And they also, basically, a lot of women, they don't experience orgasm, and there's no foreplay in their sex, and a lot of people don't even do oral sex and things like that. So it's like so many things. It was like, okay, like you miss out so much in your life, right? Because you are not educated on this. So it's like sometimes by sharing the basic, just sharing the basic to the couple, it can actually helps them to have a better relationship. And I always believe that in a healthy relationship, you should also have a healthy sex life.
Definitely. Have you ever thought of being like a therapist? You'll be great at it.
So, so I think these are accidentally happen, right? Like how you say accidentally you started a Coco Drive. So I think all this happens accidentally. And surprisingly, right now, because of MCO, there's nothing much we can do as because our outlets can't be open. So we are going to have our first sexual webinar on 15th of July.
It's so exciting.
Yeah, so we'll talk about roadblocks, why certain people have roadblocks. So like women, why sometimes they cannot enjoy sex as much is because of maybe body shaming. They're always like very concerned when they are making love. They're always concerned about their body appearance, like are they slim enough, sexy enough, and
Are
things
they
like
hot
that.
enough? Yeah.
Yes, yes. So that and women also they are afraid of slut shaming. Like they feel they should not be enjoying sex. So when you enjoy sex, you feel shame. So these are the things that might be a roadblock for women. Yeah. So that is why a lot of women they don't communicate to their partner what they like. And sometimes they fake their orgasm, which I feel is really, really bad because when you fake your orgasm, your partner will think that he is doing a good job. But
Yeah.
actually, no, you just want him to finish up. So, so I think communication is really, really important. And actually, there's a lot of roadblocks for men as well. So for men, sometimes the inability to share their emotion, because a lot of times when men they are being brought up in a way that they always their emotion are always being suppressed, right? Like boys should not cry and boy
Yeah.
should not be emotional. So sometimes for a man, it's also very hard for them to express the emotion. And for men also, confidence plays a really important role in sex as well. So these are the things that actually I think needs a lot of education and a lot of sharing. So we will
Yeah.
be having our first sexual on, if I'm not wrong, it's on 15th of this month. Yes. So it will be a 3 weeks course actually. You come once a week, and after the class, you will be you have some homework to do.
Oh, so is it open for women only or a couple?
It can be a couple actually. It will be always better to join in as a couple.
Yeah, so like, in terms of the mindset and everything is aligned and they'll work on it together and be transparent and communicate each other's needs and desire with each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's really, very important. So you see, in business, we have so many good role models, right? Like can look at Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, and so many good role models. But when it comes to relationship, you actually don't have much role model. Like recently, I saw when Bill Gates and Melinda Gates get divorced. I was like, oh my god! I thought this is the golden couple that I look up to.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming as well. I was so shocked. It was very shocking.
So I think there is not enough role model in for us to learn. I think it's really, really important to talk about relationship, and sex is also a very, very big part in a relationship. Yeah.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about career after having children. So I mean a lot of times when career women like you will be like afraid to have kids because like you need so much of energy and attention to your business as well, right? So what
Uh,
do you think will change if you have baby?
I would say my priority, I'll have to manage my time better because I don't want to like neglect, whether it is I don't want to give up my business for my baby and I don't want to give up my baby for a business. So I think learning how to balance is very important. But I think at this age, I've seen many, like successful women entrepreneur. You're one of them. that has done it. So it actually gave me more confidence in a way that, okay, how you guys have paved the way, and it just gives me more confidence that I can do it too.
Yeah, so I would think the challenges will be bigger, definitely, when you have kids and you have your career. But I also think you grow so much bigger. You grow
Yes, and
so
you know
much.
what they say? Yeah, the bigger the challenge, the bigger the reward.
It's true. I'm sure if things are too easy, there's no challenge and you don't get satisfaction. So I think after having baby, I also think the problem with women is perfection. We always think of perfection. We want to have a perfect family, perfect career. That is why sometimes we keep delaying having kids because we want it to be perfect. But I think you just need to embrace it. It's
Mm,
really not about perfection. It's never perfect in life. There's no one time that is perfect in life, I think. So you need to just embrace it. And
yeah.
also, I'm not sure if you have read this Lean In
Lean
by
in by Sheryl Sandberg.
yes, like
I
she
love
said,
that book. I even volunteered in Lean in Malaysia.
oh, is that okay? So a lot of times it says like women, even before they get pregnant, they already say, "Oh, I don't want to take up this promotion because I'm planning to have a baby." So,
Mm-hmm.
so actually, you just need to embrace it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
instead of rejecting it, and a lot of times we know that when you want to have a kid, it doesn't mean that you are guaranteed to have a kid, right? And you
Yes.
reject a promotion because of something that you think you want to plan for. So I think uh it also I think we women should also share more to tell people the challenges, because we shouldn't talk about all the perfection, like how wow we can juggle on this and that. There's a lot of challenges, but we need to know how to handle it, like tips to handle it. Like my daughter, she will always try to manipulate me. She will say things like "Mommy, whose mommy always send lunch to school," and try to guilt me that I am not doing a good job as a mom because I don't send lunch to school. Then I will also tell her that.
You.
So, these are the things that your kids might do to you. So then I will also tell her, okay, tell me who are the mummies who didn't go to school. Don't tell me who are the mummies who go to school, right? You should also tell me who are the mummies who don't go to school. And a lot of times, 80% of the times, the mummy don't go to school to send lunch. so, so yeah, so that we really need to share a lot of tips on how we handle our career better, how we handle our kids better, how we handle our spouse better. I think sometimes when we share so much about business, but we did not share about things that is also very, very important, which is our family and our life, right? Not only work, our life as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so I think we have another 5 minutes before we end today Facebook Live. Is there any last word for our audience?
From me,
Ah,
um,
how
I
is your
think
experience like for being young and being an entrepreneur?
honestly, I'm enjoying it so much, learning so much every single day, and he has been, well, like, hell of a ride. And I'm just so glad that I took the leap of faith and started, because it wasn't easy, especially when it comes to new concept. And general Malaysians will be like, "Aya, we'll book one lah, how can?" But then when you manage to push it through and you see the rewards, and I think it's just the best, feeling in the world. And I'm quite happy that, like, we managed to highlight quite a lot of points that I believe would be very useful as, yeah, to the audience who join in today as well, especially when it comes to the challenges we face and the advices that, you have shared on, like, how to prioritize your time and what are the things that, you should also take care of your well-being, love yourself, accepting yourself for who you are, and not overburden yourself, and learn how to seek help.
So how
Yeah.
do you manage your stress? How do you manage your stress?
Two things actually. I count my blessings every day. I have a journal that write down the list of things that I'm grateful about every single day. It's called the 5 minute journal. I
Okay.
do it in the morning and at night. So at night before I sleep, and I also reflect on my day, how I've done, what amazing things that happened today, and what are the things that I can do to improve myself. And the second way would actually be just like sweat it out. 30 minutes
Mm,
workout every single day, and you'll feel so much more energized.
true, true. I think
What?
really exercise is really, really important.
Yeah, it's very important.
Yeah. Because I think it naturally produce good hormone, so it makes you feels good as well. Yeah, that's really good
Yes.
advice. So thank you so much for your time today. So hope to see you in person and invite you to our beauty and and I would like to come to your cocoa dress and people like
So,
that as well. Okay.
yeah,
So thanks
let's
for your time.
find each other's place after the MCO.
True, true. Okay, thanks audience for joining us today. So I'll hope to see you soon. Bye.
Bye bye.